Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we've got some pretty big news. Kind of been waiting for this one. Kind of been getting a little bit anxious here because one of the weird things about the start of the year, as we've been getting the final Legacy of Destruction reveals and the TCG version of Phantom Nightmare all revealed. We kind of been sitting here and I'm like, but there's like no other sets on the horizon. They have the next core set announced. They always have the next core set announced. That's not a thing. But like we had like no next structure deck announced. No, I don't even think they've confirmed Animation Chronicle yet. Duelist pack, no Duelist pack announced, or any other side set that could have been slid in there as well. So we were kind of just sitting there like, there's like nothing coming up. There's something weird going on here. But alas, we have Duelist Pack, Duelist of Brilliance. This is huge. I made a video about this actually a little bit ago, talking about how that they've done every other attribute basically in order. They did Dark, then they did, was it Wind next? Did it go Wind, Water, Earth, Fire in that order? Whatever, that's 5 of the 6. The only one they didn't do is Light. And Light, like other than Dark, probably has, maybe an Earth too, had the most amount of archetypes to even like play around with anyway. So really awesome to see. I already made a video talking about the speculation, so if you want to see more in depth on that, go check that video out. But I'm going to do a quick lowdown here of the options that I think are most likely here. First and foremost, Ancient Fairy Dragon. This is played by Luna in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Oh, there's one more thing that I think is important to note before we get here. Based off of the pattern we've been doing, theoretically, Konami should put a GX character on the cover. That's something really weird here because some of these are like pretty relevant characters. Like Ancient Fairy Dragon, that's from a Signer character. Ancient Fairy Dragon's like a big dragon that like would make a lot of sense for Konami to put it on the cover. But you know, it's supposed to be GX's turnaround. So would they put Ancient Fairy Dragon in a Duelist pack where it's essentially playing second fiddle? I'm not so sure, but either way, I do still think this makes a lot of sense. It gives me some Ishizu vibes, like kind of an older character who doesn't really have like a put together theme like a Shizu did. Shizu just played some monsters that were a couple of Earth Fairies. Luna had a couple of monsters. They could just make new revamped versions of those and kind of cohesively tie them together, kind of like they have with the new Yugi stuff from Legacy of Destruction, and make an archetype actually based around Ancient Fairy Dragon, because to this point it's just been a generically good card. That I think is totally possible. Next up, XYZ or ABC, whatever you want to call this archetype. Listen, it's just Kaiba. I think Kaiba would be a big name to help sell the set for sure. Blue Eyes could also be in this category potentially, but I think kind of same argument as Ancient Fairy Dragon, but even more. I don't think they would put Blue Eyes into a Legendary Duelist unless they were going to make it the cover art. And it's supposed to be GX's turnaround, so I think the XYZ stuff maybe still has a chance because it's not quite as spotlight stealing as Blue Eyes is, but still allows them to wiggle a character as relevant as Kaiba into the set and help sell it. Trickstar. To me, this one is the most likely one. I think this is almost, I don't want to say almost guaranteed because that's probably too high of praise, but if I were to like give a percentage chance to all of them, this one would probably have the highest percent to me, especially now that when I made the video a couple months ago, people said, no, dude, Melodious has a better chance than Trickstar getting in here. Well, not now. Melodious got 5 new cards of support since then, confirmed for Legacy of Destruction, so they're basically out now, and I already thought there wasn't that good of a chance that they put 2 different light fairy, cute girl archetypes in there, so I think Trickstar is probably going to be our representative for Vrains. And if you look at the last couple, right, we have Salamangreat from the Fire Legendary Duelist. I don't think we had one for Earth, but like Water. What are they called? I can literally see all of them right now. Marincess, Jesus. Marincess, and so on and so forth. So I think this one makes sense. It's a super relevant character, but not so popular that like she has to be the cover. if you want to put like a bigger anime character in there. So I think this one makes so much sense, for sure. And I hope there's like some decent stuff, and it's not like, I hope they don't push like straight into like the fusion side of that archetype. Just give us some interruption. Like Trickstars are not like, they do some stupid stuff, but if you just give them stuff to like actually be an interruption, we could go places. Arch, perform age. This one's got to be on here. When I made the video, I kind of undersold this one before, but I had enough people in the comments telling me don't sleep on this one. The character that plays them is actually a pretty relevant character, so that's cool. If you like them, go for it. I'm kind of hoping they're not in here, but we'll see. You know, it's fine. Arcana Force. Some people are really excited for this one. I'm not sure why, because I'm just, the way the archetype works, they would have to make some really broken cards to make this like playable in any way. But there's no denying that Sartorius, for that arc, the white arc of Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it's called, the arc, you know, he is the villain basically. He's the main villain. So you know, he plays this weird archetype that's all based around flipping coins, and fate will decide, but usually the payoffs are pretty good and the non-payoffs are pretty brutal. So hopefully if they do it, they give us a good way for it to like actually be in the favor of the player more often, and maybe make it a rogue deck. But this one's definitely an option. Also, GX character. Now, I don't think he's big enough to really actually be the face of the set, but he is a GX character, and we're supposed to have a GX character on the cover. Star Seraph, this is another one that I undersold, and people made me put it in there. So I'm glad I realized that. I'm glad you guys made me realize that. But I don't know too much about this archetype or the arc that it's in. I know this was like a thing in like Herald way back when, the Herald deck, but we'll see. Valkyries. This is a weird one because I think the character it represents isn't even from the manga. It's from the anime only. So I'm not sure if this actually would make it. But I also don't think they would put this and Trickstar, even if they were both in consideration. Because Trickstar is just way more popular, way more relevant character. I think it even has more, like more people are fonder of Trickstar in terms of like having nostalgia for playing it in the past. On top of that, and they're both light fairy girl archetypes, and I just don't think they're gonna double team that. Now for some big hitters. I actually do think Cyber Dragon, looking at it a second time, has a decent shot at getting in here. Okay, here's the thing. Doesn't have a ton of, has like no cards of support in the last like 5 years. Legitimately look up Cyber Dragon and see how many legit Cyber Dragon cards have come out in the last 5 years. It's like 0. For like what you could argue is like the 4th most popular archetype of all time in the whole game. That's crazy. GX character, they could slap Zane on there and a lot of people be into it. They could slap a new big Cyber Dragon monster on there. Boom, that would get him in hype. And I think it's a big enough archetype to just like kind of carry a good portion of the set. I think this one actually makes sense. I know Zane's already been in this in Legendary Duelist twice, but one was for Cyber Dragon way back when on like the first or second one. And then his other one was Cyber Dark, so it's an entirely different archetype. If they're going to keep doing Legendary Duels, they're going to have to keep circling around. There's only so many relevant characters, and I think for being one of the most popular archetypes in the game, not getting a card of support, a single card for like 5 years, means that I do think they're possible. Plus, with the whole GX thing, has to have a GX character, I think he actually has some legs here. So we'll see, but I understand if they don't do it, but I'm just saying, don't count them out. And the last one here would be Cyber Angel. I just don't think, what's her face? Can't remember her name off the top of my head. The character who plays this is quite relevant enough. It's not even like the deck she even starts out with kind of thing, and then like eventually she plays them. Plus they've already been in a Legendary Duel. So I just think Zane is like a huge character, and Cyber Dragon's a hugely popular archetype. This archetype's liked, but it's not like that level, so I don't think they double up on it. But that's the last one I have here. There may be some other fringe ones that are kind of like tricky, but these are the top options I have, and I wanted to go over just in this video to show you where my expectations are at this point. You know, I'm really excited for this. I really wanted this because I really have wanted Trickstar support for a while. I really wanted Cyber Dragon support this year as well. Hopefully those two make it, and the other one, if those two make it, the other one I don't even care about. But Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you guys are hoping for here. Are there any other options other than these main ones that you think still have a legit chance? Keep in mind, they do have to be paired with a really popular character, or at least a semi-popular character from the show. But I'm out of here for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.